Wrecked Feminist Videos presents A Night with Bill Cosby. Sorry, wrong video. Wrecked Feminist Videos presents Feminist Cringe Compilation. The Mark Rudolph edition. Hope you enjoy.
The war on Ladies' Night heating up. The Minnesota Department of Human Rights has declared Ladies' Night promotions at bars against the law, calling it gender discrimination. But if a private business wants to attract clientele, shouldn't they be allowed to offer them discounts? Here for a fair and balanced debate is Fox News legal analyst and author of The 51% Minority, Lise Wheel, and relationship coach and self-proclaimed anti-feminist, Mark Rudolph. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
All right, Lise, let me just have you start this one off, because I know it's going to get fiery here. Discrimination against Ladies' Night? Come on.
I know. And I'm so sorry this is happening in Minnesota, Gretchen, your home state. I mean,
it's Ladies' Night when I go home, right?
Exactly. The Human Rights Board of Minnesota is wasting their time on Ladies' Night. Why don't they go and check out hairdressers that charge women 2 or 3 times as much to get their hair cut? Or the dry cleaners that charge women 2 or 3 times as much for blouses than they do a man for a shirt. I mean, come on, the list goes on. Insurance companies that will pay for Viagra but will not pay for birth control. I mean, and we're still only being paid 77 cents on the dollar. So if we get a little bit of a luxury of a girls' night out where we don't spend quite as much, come on.
All right, now, Mark, how do you argue with those points?
Oh, you can't argue with those points because they're totally fallacious. So let's stick to the facts.
Really?
Minnesota has declared Ladies' Nights a violation of human rights. But because they're violating men, they're not going to really enforce it unless men complain. This is the same state that allowed convicted convicts to illegally vote for Al Franken.
What?
The fact of the matter is, Ladies' Night is just another female entitlement. And women aren't going to show up at the bar unless they get free drinks. Please don't interrupt me.
Ladies' Night. I'm sorry. That has nothing.
That was a little bit.
Because the state doesn't care.
Mark, let me ask you this. So let's say you have Ladies' Night.
The state doesn't care about enforcing laws.
Let's say you have ladies. Yes, they do. Come on. The state. Or let's say that go to Ladies' Night. You get a lot of women who come to the bar. Do men like that, or do they not?
Well, what you're just doing is reinforcing the point I've always made, that dating is legal prostitution.
Whoa,
if women aren't going to show, show up unless they're bought and paid for, that's prostitution.
First of all, get a life, okay? I mean, please, this is ridiculous.
Excuse
and if you want
Lise.
the free drink so much, just put a wig on and call yourself Margie and go to the bar, all right? Yes, Gretchen is absolutely right that the bar owners do it for a very smart reason, which is that there are more women in their Ladies' Night, girls going out with girls, having a time together, not to catch men, but the guys are going to kind of like going in there and buying those drinks for the ladies.
You're making my point, Lise.
Oh, you're saying that's prostitution to go out on a Ladies' Night?
That's crazy, Mark. Give me a legitimate argument.
Why don't we have Episcopalian night then? Free drinks for Episcopalians. How about that?
They probably have it somewhere.
What would the lawyers do?
They also have free drinks.
Women are not entitled to have anything for free, Lise. Get over it. Why don't you get a life?
And they also have these bars. I'm not going to take that insult. They also have these bars where you can go in, and the playoffs for the NFL, the big football games, they have.
But guess what? Those are all going to go away too, because once this thing passes, it's a slippery slope. None of those things will be offered.
Lise, when your hair,
I got to wrap it up, unfortunately.
When your hair is as short as mine, you can pay what I pay for a haircut. This is a totally bogus, fallacious argument.
True. Right,
women are not entitled to free drinks
guys. Lisa and Mark, thanks very much. Okay.
I did not know this, but men are feeling feminized, undervalued, frustrated. A brand new survey showing more than half of the guys out there say that women are making the rules. They just got to follow them. My next guest says that has got to change. It is time for Menazance. He is, of course, Mark Rudolph, and Lise Wheel disagrees. All right, Mark, what's this Menazance about?
Well, Neil, today's American man is built like a Ken doll, smooth between the legs. It all comes down to tears, tantrums, and sex. He'll do anything to avoid her tears and tantrums and anything to get sex. So now he's living in a gynocracy, and that's basically it in a nutless shell.
Oh, my goodness.
All right.
I can't believe it.
Well, the good thing we kind of had the whole, nipple ring thing going, so we kind of set the stage.
Theme.
All right, so we got a theme going. What do you think of that? What do you think that women rule the roost and the guys are acknowledging?
Well, first of all, Mark is just a mouthpiece for male whiners out there. I mean, come on. If you're living by women's rules, Mark, then you choose to do that. You want to be mothered. You want to be pampered.
I think you didn't listen to me, Lisa. I just said that.
Just like you were mothered, been pampered by your mother. So you want someone to tell you when to take your socks off and when to put the lid down on the toilet. Come on, Mark.
Well, why do you say take your socks off and put the lid down on the toilet?
Women happen to be a little bit more...
I said the opposite.
Women happen to be a little bit more hygienic. And look, Mark...
Yeah, the whole toilet thing, the sock thing,
right.
You guys seem to be obsessing about stuff that's really not important, is it?
Yeah, but if you want to live with us, as you do, and as we talked about, so you're much happier, you live healthier lives if you're in a long relationship. The men that are depressed out there are the ones that aren't in their relationship.
And their socks are being thrown everywhere.
All
right, Mark, what do you make of that?
Well, first of all, if you can't put down your own damn toilet seat, that's your problem. If any man who kowtows to you deserves the gynocracy in which he lives. Look, men kowtow to women all the time. We saw this on Valentine's Day. I told men to boycott Valentine's Day. Most men are too chicken to do it. Then men elect gynocrats like Hillary Clinton and man-hater-in-chief Joe Biden. Here's the problem. Men are Rambo when the topic is Osama bin Laden, but Bambi when the topic is women. Men need to grow a pair. Become a man. Get over it. And stop kowtowing to women.
If by being male, you're equating that with being a male chauvinist pig, I'm not buying that. And I think most men out there are not buying that. If they're buying into...
Well, guess what? I never said become a male chauvinist pig.
Yes, you are. That's exactly what you're saying.
No, he's just leaving. No, he's leaving the toilet seat up. That's all he's doing. He's making a statement. The toilet seat stays up.
No, you put your own toilet seat down.
Yeah, there. I don't know what he said, but I agree.
Grow up, Lise.
What?
You want me to put the light switch on for you in every room, too, to anticipate every room you're going to enter?
You men are such babies. You can't live under anybody else's rules. If you're buying into quote-unquote women's rules, whatever that means, Mark, then you're doing it of your own free volition. Nobody's putting, the little lady's not putting a gun to your head to live by quote-unquote women's rules.
Why do men, by and large, listen to those rules? Why do they subscribe to them?
They're smart rules. They're good rules. They're rules.
But what about Mark's notion that they listen to them because I'd argue and I don't have time?
I told you before, it comes down to tears, tantrums, and sex. Men will do anything to avoid tears and tantrums and anything to get sex. And any man like that is a wimp.
Men need to grow up. They need to grow a pair. You are the mouthpiece for the wimps.
To women.
You are the mouthpiece. Yes, you're being the mouthpiece for the wimps because the men you're describing are just wimpy. They can't even stand up to their women.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. That's what I'm saying. Men need to grow a pair.
So let me ask you, Mark, if you're in a relationship, all right, I know what you're saying. If a woman tells you, someone you fall in love with, and says, I'd appreciate you picking up your stuff in the room. I'm not trying to be a boss. I just think that it's nice if we have a clean room, a clean apartment, clean house. What do you tell them? Go to hell?
No, I think men should clean up after themselves, but that's not the point of this. There's a difference between being responsible for your own behavior and kowtowing to women. When women say, we're going to run everything my way, and I'm going to use sex as a reward, and if a man goes along with that, shame on him.
First of all,
and if a man votes for somebody like Joe Biden, who passes anti-male legislation, shame on him.
First of all, no woman I know has ever done that. And second of all, if your man, quote-unquote, follows a woman's rules or her suggestions, as Neil was saying, it's a matter of respect for her. It's not about kowtowing.
No, it's not.
Okay, guys,
no, it's not. It's a matter of insecurity.
No, it's not.
It's a matter of being built like a Ken doll. Very smooth.
That'll be fine. Honey, I'll be coming home tonight. More to this.
We all will.
Hello Kitty is saying hello to boys. The Japanese company behind that cute little pink and white cat was now going to market a version for boys. Mark Rudolph says this proves manhood is under attack, but attorney Jennifer Brandt says, lighten up. It's just a little cartoon cat. So Mark, it is. It's a cute little cat. What has you so hot and bothered?
It's part of a growing trend to feminize boys and trivialize fathers. No real man wants to see his son walking around with Hello Kitty on his shirt. I mean, come on, this is ridiculous. This is proof that fathers, no longer have any control over their sons. And when you have a 50% divorce rate, and a 40% out-of-wedlock birth rate, what do you expect?
Jennifer? Come on, Mark. The notion that our entire male population is at risk over a kitty cat is totally insane. But what we do need to be concerned about as a society is the fact that we have a lot of very violent young men out there who participate in gang violence and school shootings, and they're oftentimes raised on a diet of violent video games and toy guns and other disturbing violent toys. So Hello Kitty is a refreshing alternative, I think.
Yeah, it sure is refreshing, considering mothers commit most of the violence against their children, and at least 50% of the domestic violence. Read the CDC statistics,
but we're not talking about violence against children. We're talking about violence against society.
Where do you think the violence against children comes from, Jennifer?
It comes from many parents, and it's not just women or men. It's for very disturbed individuals.
Jennifer, what's interesting is you talk about all these boys being violent, but all these boys are being raised by moms.
Oh, that's not true.
Yes, it is true.
There's both parents in a household, and what the important part is about Hello Kitty is that maybe it would teach our boys some compassion. You know, today's society.
Yeah, like Britney Spears.
Let me finish.
Like Paris Hilton, compassion like that.
Today's society is a two-parent household society where both parents need to participate.
It isn't. Not at all.
Absolutely, it is. And you have working moms that participate financially, and you know what? Dads need to step up and do chores.
Jennifer,
and care for children.
I would be willing to bet that you represent mostly mothers.
Oh, I do not. And you know what? Teaching boys how to care for dolls is the first step in teaching them how to be good parents. So maybe if more boys cared about dolls, then maybe more boys would, turn out to be good fathers.
Jennifer, I don't mind playing with dolls right after they take me out for dinner.
Oh, but you know, Mark, listen, you know, Hello Kitty, I have a son, you know, he wouldn't be caught dead with a Hello Kitty t-shirt on anyway, whether I bought it for him or not. But, you know, if he wanted to, or wanted to use the little pad and the little Hello Kitty pen and stuff, what's wrong with that?
You know, that's a very interesting question. If a little boy thinks that's okay, that is proof positive that he's not being raised like a male, and it shows that the dominant influence in his wife is his mother.
That's
because
not true.
Mothers want their sons to be like little girls in this country.
That's not true. You know what that proves?
Sure,
that proves that the manufacturer has a great marketing technique, and this fan will come and go like many, many others.
The marketer has done its research, and it has shown that boys are being raised by mamas, and these boys are mama's boys, and they can make a lot of money selling shirts for mama's boys, and they're going to make a lot of money.
Mark,
if they were real boys, they would reject this stuff.
You had a problem with your mom. What's going on here?
I don't have any problems with my mom. I have a problem with you, Jennifer.
Oh, and we unfortunately just lost Jennifer, so Mark, you do get the last...
Well, that's what happens when you make a ridiculous point.
All right, I can't argue with it. You must have the technology gods on your side, but...
That's right.
Thanks.
It would be nice to know that I have some gods on my side.
You have someone on your side. Okay, Happy New Year, and Happy New Year to Jennifer.